Hi, everyone. Welcome to our yearly best and worst films of the year here at Geek Home World. I'm your host, Ed Ciucevich of the Geek Home World podcast. We're here on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe on that. Sorry, I'm just I'm monitoring a bunch of things here, so it's all right. Working on my setup here. So sorry for the impromptu thing, but we're just we're doing our best and worst films of 2025. We're here live on YouTube, youtube.com/at Geek Home World. Like, share, subscribe, thumbs up the video. You'll probably hear this in podcast form. We'll work it out. But I'm your host, Ed Ciucevich, and joining me, my very special guest that I always love to have on the show, Scott Schreiber. Welcome, Scott.
Thanks, Ed. Appreciate it. It's that time of year again where we get to tell us what we think are the best. It's all subjective. Remember that.
It is subjective. And what an awesome opening ahead there. You know, it's so smooth.
Getting so good at this.
I am. Yeah. It's amazing.
But yeah, it was a pretty good year for 2025, I'd say. You know, I'm pretty looking at my top 25. I'm pretty happy with that list. It's like I'm surprised. Like a lot of the ones that drop down into like closer to 20 in my top 20, I'm surprised aren't in my top 10. But pretty good year for movies. I think you know, there's some good box office movies. I even, you know, if you didn't see them, I didn't see the two biggest earners this year in Minecraft and Lilo and Stitch, but you know, that's not geared towards us. But hey, that people went to go in droves to see movies, kids movies, horror movies, and of course Avatar. You know,
and Zootopia. I did see that, but
yeah,
I fell asleep in it. But that's okay.
Yeah,
to each their own. Just an overview of things on here is I think is going to really surprise people what my number one film is. So there's a preview. Scott did remind me when I was hashing out my list here. He did remind me that there was a certain movie I'd forgotten, and he made a good point of about 4 movies that I raved about all year, and one of them I left out, and you'll have to listen to find out what that film was. But
yeah, we're each gonna list our top 10s of the year. It's not a consolidated list. Ed and I, we can have similar tastes, but you know, I see everything.
While how many collectively did you see?
I keep a list on, you know, plug for Letterboxd, I guess. Maybe you get an advertisement, but I've kept track of that all year long, and I've seen 125 films this year. So, which, you know, it's dedication to do that. You know, thank you AMC A list.
Yes.
That allows you to do that.
A good part of your thank you Regal, whatever your list was. You got me to the movies there, and so now I'm back on the A list in Savannah. But
so we have, you know, we do have 3 films that show up on both of our lists, so you'll have to wait to see what those are. So a little less crossover between us this year, so we decided to do separate lists, and we'll go through each of them, and we'll also give you our 5 worst of the year. That's a consolidated list, but we'll give it. You got to throw in the 5 worst too, because it's fun to point out who failed.
Yeah, we're good at the worst.
But how about before we dip into the top 10s, do you have any honorable mentions that just were outside your top 10?
Thing for this honorable mention?
Yeah, it's right there.
Oh, on there. Okay, we didn't do it. We didn't do it.
No, we don't. No, that's not necessary.
Okay, so we're doing. Okay, yeah, we're gonna knock out honorable mentions here. First, Ed, which is me. My honorable mentions, and the first one pains me that it's not in the top 10, and it's probably gonna haunt me forever. But it was a hard list, and I thank Scott for helping me kind of get it together because my list changed. Certainly. Certain things didn't change in it, but certain ones did. And this one got bumped out and is not at all a reflection of me not liking the film because it was one of my favorite films, but Thunderbolts
Yeah,
with the asterisks,
asterisk. Yes,
the new adventures.
if you say so.
Yeah, if you say so, but it's still Thunderbolts, and it'll always be Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably my biggest. It would have been number 11, or it would have been. Actually, it was higher than that in my list, but it
I
got.
feel you because like that's the thing. It's like when I go over my honorable mentions, it's the same thing. Like there's some that are just outside my top 10 that show up in your list, so I won't really mention those. But the other ones I will that round out my top 20. But what else you got there for your honorable mentions?
Another one that was a guilty pleasure. It was basically the Road Runner come to life. Wile E. Coyote,
Yep.
Especially if you've seen the movie with the rocket on the train track. Sisu, Road to Revenge. That was like I knew what it was going in, and I loved it. It's just a fun.
It was fun. It's definitely one of those you really have to suspend your disbelief movies, or you just like, all right, anything can happen. It's Wiley. It really is. It's Wile E. Coyote.
It is Wile E. Coyote.
Just strapping rockets to his back, but it was fun. It's some good stunts, definitely in that. Yeah.
Yeah. The other one I have, my favorite, hands down, my favorite comedy of the year. One of Them Days.
Oh yeah,
it was early in the year, January or February, I think.
It was pretty early. One of the first movies.
A lot of people have forgotten about it, but I just remember going. Me and my wife go to a movie and just laughing my ass off.
That was really funny. That was with those Kiki Palmer and SZA, and then Cat Williams has a nice little cameo.
Yeah. And that's when I was on my Cat Williams trip, but all this stuff that was going on last year. But
oh yeah,
he's a great comedian. I like him.
It's fine.
And this is not sponsored by my snack M&M's, plain
and you were.
I know I'm going to get a sugar rush during this, and I've got my
your
Coke Zero.
Looking for that sponsorship.
I am looking for something, all right. But anyway, One of Them Days was one of my honorable mentions, and the last one was a little bit more serious film. Obviously than the others, but Rental Family with
Encino Man,
Brendan Fraser. I got a dog over here that wants my M&Ms. I can't have them. You can get a hug. Barkley, you can't see.
There he is.
There he is, Barkley.
He's the star of the show.
I gotta have my lighting better in here. You can't see him. He's a nice Brindle mix, and he's such a good boy. You've been such a good boy. Go hang out on the podcast couch in the studio. Anyway. So, Scott, we've heard mine. What are your honorable mentions for 2025?
Yeah, so these just were outside my top 10. Yeah, he shouldn't have brought out the food. So I had Good Fortune was a really good comedy. Aziz Ansari, Seth Rogen, and Keanu Reeves. That one was pretty funny, timely, kind of about the gig economy,
Oh yeah.
So really good movie. Together was one of my favorite horror films. Alison Brie and Dave Franco, essentially a story about codependence, a horror film, a body horror film about codependence, where they eventually kind of start to become one person. That was a really cool movie. I really love 28 Years Later. I think they kickstarted that franchise again really well with that. Mm-hmm. We got Bone Temple coming out next week, which is a follow-up to that. So I'm looking forward to that one a lot. But that was
Bone Temple's not about hooking up, is it?
I'm sure there is one like that titled that, but this is the R-rated. Actually, it could be NC-17. It's pretty violent. But that was one of my favorites. Really loved what Danny Boyle, Alex Garland wrote the script on that, and I really like Alex Garland. He'll show up on my top 10. And then how about Train Dreams? I know you're like, what is Train Dreams? I don't know that. This was a Netflix film that just came out. It's a Joel Edgerton. It basically follows this logger in the early 20th century, and his how his job takes him away from his family. It's almost kind of like an Odyssey, like a story of Job kind of thing, where you're long suffering, you're trying to get back to your loved ones kind of thing. But the cinematography of that's incredible. You need to watch that. It's really gorgeous. A lot of natural lighting, a lot of on location. shooting. So really good. And then I really loved.
I'm laughing at the next one.
I really loved it. The Legend of Ochi. There was nothing like the Legend of Ochi this year,
and that's probably a good thing. That was a crazy ass film.
I loved it because it reminded me of, I grew up on Jim Henson films and whatnot. So it reminded me of the Henson style, and I loved it. I thought it was one of the most unique films of the year. But
I don't even know how. My wife came out of that one. I'm like, what did we just watch? I don't know.
See, and I love that. I love the original films that do blow your mind. You're like, what in the world? Like that's.
I thought about walking out during it, but I'm like, no, this is just too crazy. I got to see how this train wreck. Not that it was a train wreck.
And it comes. It was not a train wreck. But it comes full circle. There's a story about family and loss and everything. Yeah. So, but yeah, those are the honorable mentions.
Those are the honorable mentions. We're gonna hit the best and then the worst, or
we'll wind up on the worst. We'll go ahead and start our.
we'll leave it with a bad
taste
in your mouth.
We won't talk about those as long as these. We want to elaborate on these, so let's leave. We don't care if we leave time for the worst. We can squeeze that in at the end. But we'll start with your number 10. We'll start with your list. No, you go from
number 10, and I'm gonna show it on screen. Hopefully this works out well. We're trying a different little setup here. And but let's see, my number 10, let's see, Ed's number 10. Let's see if I can do this right. Is Superman. You can't see the screen.
No, I can't, but I'll look at the final product later.
Ed's number 10 is Superman 2025. It's James Gunn's Superman, because he was very much part of the marketing of that. Maybe some people say too much. Did I like this film? It was okay. Was it a good Superman film? It was okay. When I came out of it, I was like super high, excited on it, because I really wanted to win for DC, because the way they've been in decline. And I thought it was Corn Sweat, not Corn Sweat, which I still see prominent movie reviews calling him Corn Sweat, and I don't even know what Corn Sweat is, but
I thought Gunn did a good job with it. Like it was fun. Like I don't think we expect Dark Knight level stuff. We expect to have fun.
It was
fun. And have good action and visual effects.
The actors I liked. There were things about it I didn't like, but
Rachel Brosnahan's a great Lois.
She was a good Lois, and I liked the interaction they had. They had good chemistry. I absolutely hated the depiction of Ma and Pa Kent. I thought it was very, very narrow-minded of James Gunn, of what he thinks Midwesterners are. I don't think he knows what a Midwesterner is. I don't know, at least in that portrayal. I didn't think he did. Clark's parents, they were a bunch of bumpkins, kind of country.
I was going to say rude. Yeah, like
it was almost very rude towards his parents. I did not like, and spoiler alerts, if you hadn't seen it, you should. Spoiler. But the revelation about, I'll just say this, the revelation that he turns the whole mythology on a head by trying to be different, I guess, and subvert expectations, which never works out well, or doesn't usually, about Kal-El, Superman's parents, and their intentions for him. And I'll just leave it at that. A lot of people did not like a problem
with that. I did not. That was one of the things I didn't have a problem with, because I want things to be original and to be different. So like it didn't bother me.
Makes him no different than Zod's parents, if Zod,
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm not going to dive too deep into that. But it was good. It was the most comic book like Superman we've seen on the screen. It was. I love Nicholas Hoult as, and this is a common thing I've seen in other films. I thought his portrayal of Lex Luthor was way over the top, but I still liked it. There were parts of it that were almost hokey, but still, I felt like he was just he really needed the Snickers bar or something.
It wasn't Jesse Eisenberg level though, right?
No, that was a totally different, but I can still, even in the worst movies, I can still find things I like. And so I still did like his Lex Luthor, and he's a great actor. So, I love a win.
I enjoyed it. I liked the side characters. I thought that they dealt with was it Miss Tessmacher. Yeah. She was really great. And she was pretty pivotal to the story too.
Jimmy's a pimp, apparently.
Yeah.
That's new. But anyway, enough about Superman. That was Ed's number 10. Scott, What was your number 10 best film of the year?
All right, so we're cracking into mine, and this is my favorite comedy of the year. You talked about One of Them Days being your favorite comedy. My favorite comedy was The Ballad of Wallace Island. All right, so you have a look like you don't remember this film, but
I thought it was Ellis Island.
when I tell you the plot, you'll remember. So it's basically this lonely rich guy that hires his favorite folk duo to come to the island and perform for him.
I didn't know what that was called.
Yeah, so it's got that British wit, written and by Tim Key, and then the other actor's name, I'm drawing a blank right now, but the lead actor and then the supporting actor, they co-wrote it together. And I just love that dry British humor. And Tim Key is the guy that plays the eccentric millionaire who hires the folk duo to come. Carey Mulligan's in it. I love Carey Mulligan. You know how I love Carey Mulligan. Right. She's fantastic in it. And really, any movies with music at the heart of it, I'm probably going to enjoy. But this was really well done, and it has a lot of heart too. So it's like it's not just humor. You actually, there is an emotional journey too because of his character. But he plays it so well, from being this kind of like lovable idiot to the very vulnerable too. So that really made an impression on me. I laughed throughout. Maybe not as, I mean, Naked Gun's up there as one of the best comedies of the year, but it's a totally different comedy, right? The
Right.
slapstick comedy.
Which I haven't watched all of Naked Gun. I fell asleep watching it. It's just because I was tired one night. But what I saw of it, I really loved it. Yeah. Probably the best comedy of the year.
So you'll see, like on my list, I tried to throw in like my favorite comedy, my favorite horror and whatnot. So that was my favorite comedy of the year. Good stuff.
Sorry, I'm just sharing this to social media so people can see us live.
All right.
And I'm also monitoring. I got a whining little puppy in there.
All right. Now, what's your number 9?
My number 9.
Number 9.
All right. Number 9. This is a film that I liked it. It was PG-13. Some people didn't like it because it wasn't gory enough. It had a female in it that was too quirky. They didn't think that's with this franchise, but I loved it. I had a lot of fun with it. She's a robot. So my number 9 for the year, Predator: Badlands. It was a fun. It is a fun action movie. I had members of my family that saw it and liked it, and they're not usually Predator fans, so that was cool for me.
And I think that's where like the old school Predator fans probably don't like it because it's a different Predator film.
It is
than all the other ones.
It's really, if you take the sci-fi out of it, it's like trying to get the respect of your father. It's kind of living up. It's like two brothers.
Well, and you could argue that there's some marketing things there too, like the cute little toy, like with the little creature they come across. But
the Ewoks and the little
buddies. I really enjoyed the aspect of it, of the Gaijin or whatever the monsters are called. I can't remember, but I used to remember. But I like the fact that they made him sympathetic and him the hero, and it's like, but that's another thing that people were not happy about, that Gaijins could not be sympathetic. That's what they, it's like, well, I think the point is that we need a little more empathy in this world, and that's what the movie drives home. It has a good message, so
yep,
I enjoy it.
Worked for me. So Scott, what was your number 9 film of 2025?
All right, my number 9 is my favorite horror film of the year. There were some good horror films I mentioned Together earlier. I did enjoy Weapons. I think there are a lot of plot holes in Weapons, but my number 9 best horror film of the year is Bring Her Back. This is the most haunting film I've seen in ages, honestly.
And honestly, the most haunting film I was not going to see.
The premise is basically like this it's a grief-stricken woman. She's lost a child, and she's bringing in foster children to kind of harness this spell or this ritual that could possibly bring her child back. Okay. And it has these really intense moments, great sound design. There's this moment where this kid's eating a knife. Absolutely crazy. And the sound design is so spot on that it makes your yeah, absolutely. So, and it's Sally Hawkins is the lead actress here. You might know her from The Shape of Water is probably what most people know her from. She gives, in my opinion, the best lead actress performance of the year here. It is so good, so haunting. I have about a 30-minute commute from my theater home. I sat in silence on my drive home for 30 straight minutes, did not turn on the radio, just rode home in complete silence, just in awe of this film and how haunting it was. And it made that much of an impression. And it had to be in my top 10 here. If you love horror films, this is one you got to see. Bring Her Back, number 9.
Okay. So we have to go to number 8.
All right, number 8 for Ed.
This is this is one of the films I was looking forward to. This director never misses for me. Some people said this was a retread of the last film he did in this trilogy. It's a trilogy so far.
Some people.
Yeah, some people. I'm looking at across the table here.
Go for it.
But for spectacle, we're kind of like used to the spectacle, I guess, now at this point. But my number 8 is Avatar: Fire and Ice. I definitely saw it in the world's tallest or largest. What is it? Tallest?
I don't know. In Pooler?
Outside of Savannah
is it the tallest?
I think it's the world's tallest IMAX, and I saw it. So Avatar: Fire and Ice, and I visually there's no need for 3D in your life
except Avatar
and on the big screen, and they can't make a screen big enough for this world. It just draws you in. But is number 8 for me. I'm a big Cameron fan. I'm a massive Terminator fan. I love everything he's ever done. I can't think of a bad movie he's made, from True Lies to, which is an underrated, I won't call it a masterpiece, but it's a great movie. The Abyss.
That's my favorite.
That's that's, even though some people are not happy with the 4K restorations he's done, and I don't know, but still.
I get it. It's a spectacle. Like it's absolutely gorgeous. The production design, the cinematography, the visual effects. It will win visual effects at the Oscars again, and it rightfully should. Yeah, it's a gorgeous film, and it makes you forget how terrible the script is.
There's a few directors like Nolan and Spielberg. I'm looking forward to his Alien Arrival movie, whatever it's called.
Yeah, it looks good.
James Cameron, and who's the other guy? Nolan. What's the other guy? Odyssey.
That's Nolan.
Nolan. Who's the other director? Damn it. Help me out here.
You have to tell me the movie. I can't just pull a director out of thin air.
Obviously George Lucas, but Spielberg. But there's certain directors that push the boundaries of what can be on screen and are keeping the theatrical experience going. And
he's going.
That's what they're doing.
He's laughing all the way to the bank, rewriting the same scripts.
Cameron. Who else am I thinking of?
I don't know.
It'll come to me. I'll kick myself later. But Avatar: Fire and Ice. It was good to see a continuation of the story. And if this is the last one, because to date, January 13th, 2026, when we're recording this, it's only made like 1.1 billion. So it's behind The Way of Water.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe it. What a failure.
If it doesn't make 2 billion, he literally said he's gonna, if Disney's not gonna let him do any more 4, 5, and 6 or whatever he wants to do of Avatar, he's gonna hold a press conference and give away the ending of the movie, which I, as a fan, appreciate that. But
we're getting 4 and 5.
Oh yeah, we're definitely.
It's happening.
So anyway, at number 8, Avatar: Fire and Ice. On to your number 8. And I thought this was a movie about flowers.
No, not at all. So my number 8 has some great acting in it, and the story is absolutely bonkers. And it's you'd think we'd be used to it from Yorgos Lanthimos. His stories are bonkers. Number 8's Begonia for me.
What's your language?
Yorgos Lanthimos.
You call me a Yorgos?
But yeah, no, Begonia shows up here on my list because mainly of because of the acting. I won't spoil the ending. It's an ending that definitely is polarizing. Some people will be like, "Holy crap! Why did I just sit through that for that?" But I think it works perfectly. But two of the best acting performances of the year: Emma Stone, as usual, fantastic here in a Lanthimos movie. But my favorite performance of the year, male, female, lead supporting, is Jesse Plemons in Begonia. I think it's the best performance of the year.
And he was a standout in Civil War.
In his 2 minutes in Civil
2
War.
minutes in Civil War.
Like he's so good in that.
What
But
kind of American are you?
exactly. But he walks this tightrope in this film of like, because the premise of it is he kidnaps this corporate woman who he thinks is an alien. And so it's kind of like he's basically trying to, get her to out herself and to, to basically admit that she's an alien.
Girl, you're an alien.
So, but it's this whole time, it's this guessing game. Is he crazy? Is he intuitive? And it goes, and both performances, his and Emma Stone, makes you go back and forth, and you don't know which is which by the end. And you're like, because you're like, wait a minute, she is an alien. Oh wait, no, she's not an alien. Oh wait, she is an alien.
Is she trying to be Ripley with her shaved head?
Well, that could have been a nod to her, but yeah, it's basically the scientific explanation for that is that she can't contact her mothership without her hair. I mean, it's pure, science, duh. So
yeah, but that's why I had to comb my hair.
I like weird original films. This certainly fits that bill. So yeah, I love Begonia. Great.
Cool. We're moving right along. We're up to my number 7, and this film was another Marvel film. And when I was kind of figuring I left Thunderbolts off, it would have been number 11, or could have been higher actually, but it gets an honorable mention. But it didn't do great at the box office. I didn't love this film, but I didn't hate it. And it's Fantastic Four: First Steps. But when I was thinking about it, I watched it once in the theater. I kept wanting to go, and I could never seem to get to the theater to go see it again. But I saw it twice in its entirety. 2 other times that I watched it on Disney Plus, and they finally did Galactus justice. The depiction of him, I thought, was as good as we're ever gonna get. In this digital age.
Yeah,
I'm not a hater of the original Fantastic Four, that the Silver Surfer and the first Fantastic Four.
Yeah, they're pretty bad.
A film, and of course not that one way back in the 90s, or we try to forget or whatever. But they were okay for what they were. But Galactus is not a smoke cloud. He's not the smoke monster from Lost or whatever.
He is this mammoth world eater, right?
And he likes somebody pointed out he likes sniffing the dirt of New York or something. He's like, this is my kind of earth. Yeah, so anywho.
No, I agree with you. Like this was barely outside my top 10. I think I have it at number 12. I really love the film. It was the same guy, I believe the same writer and directors that did WandaVision. So it was like kind of had that heart to it, So it was like, and I love Vanessa Kirby's performance. She's awesome.
Even though she was a little OP in this film, but it worked. Shia LaBeouf, or I think that's her name.
That's the Silver Surfer. That's Julia Gardner.
Yeah,
I'm saying Vanessa Kirby was Sue Storm.
Yes, correct. I liked it. Did I love the film? No, but I really liked it. So it worked for me. A film that did not make it or get an honorable mention because it was a bit of a mess, and I feel like I need to mention it. Captain America: Brave New World. 8 minutes of that when he's fighting the Hawk, I loved it. Even though the Hawk could have really
there's some good scenes in that movie.
That was a chopped up film.
Yeah.
Shout out to the local Savannah actor who was in it, and I forgot his character, but William McCullough, that I interviewed before back in the day. Anyway, but yeah, I had to mention that because that's the other film that we're right now getting. We've just got our 4th trailer of Fantastic Four arriving in. Spoiler alert. if you're going to the theater and see Avatar, you'll see it, I guess, on there. But the Fantastic Four from the end of Thunderbolts, I'm surmising, arrives in Wakanda. So we see Shuri and Winston Dukes in Baku there, and they're just arriving there. So that'll be interesting. The pieces are coming into place, and I feel like I needed to see Fantastic Four. I was never a big Fantastic Four fan. I did like them. I think Ben Grimm was underused in this film. The Thing, he was underused. But I still liked his character. I liked that they looked into his religious, background. They showed he's more rounded person, more than just a cartoon character. And I liked the Johnny Storm, even though some people are like, well, he's a ladies' man. You don't have to always play it that way, but they showed that he was smart. He did kind of interpret some of the language. Pedro Pascal was never my first pick, or if I had a choice, he wouldn't have been Mr. Fantastic. That's his name. But I like the portrayal he did of Reed Richards. I think he did a good job, and Vanessa Kirby was great. So yeah, I liked it, and it was number 7 for the year for me. And that's all. And that's all I have to say about that. All right, on to your number 7.
All right, so I've already had one movie on here that is the spine of it is music, and here's my second one. My number 7 is Song Sung Blue, about the Neil Diamond cover band, and true story, evidently. I'm sure they kind of messed with some things. But really great performance from Kate Hudson, probably her best performance since Almost Famous, which I absolutely love. The Almost Famous, and she should have won an Oscar for that. She'll probably get nominated for an Oscar for this, but we'll see. There's always some surprises, but her performance great. Hugh Jackman's great. The music's great. You come out of the theater humming. So, bye.
I'm sorry, I didn't push the button.
Oh, now it's up there.
Sorry, Scott's number 7, right?
Yeah, Song Sung Blue. But yeah,
I was monitoring. Somebody said something in the chat.
I didn't know their real story, so like, there's one shocking moment in the film where it's like it really was like, holy cow, like this actually happened to her, but yeah, I really thought it definitely a hopeful movie, a joyful movie. When I walked out of the theater, there's other people singing on their way out, so movie that makes you feel good, you got to put it in the top 10. But what's your number 6?
Okay, number 6. By the way, just I may be having a little in the chat. We maybe said my mic's going in and out. I'm recording this, 2 backup recordings of this. So if the sound isn't perfect on this, it's definitely going to be in audio format. So I apologize. We're doing a different setup. Every time I come on here, I'm doing a different setup. So if there's any technical issues, I apologize, but hopefully it's coming through well. It sounds good on my end, so I'm doing what I can. But thank you for that feedback in the chat. Please like, share, subscribe, thumbs up. Where are we at? Number 6.
Number 6 for Ed.
Number 6 for Ed. Okay. Number 6 is probably one of the best sounding. I'm not a. Well, I'm just gonna put it up on the screen. It's F1 the movie. I'm not a big racing fan, but I did like this film. I thought the sound was great on this film. I thought it was a little predictable, the story, Brad Pitt, but that's the story you want to see about the older driver coming back and not having to use all the technology and everything, but getting acclimated to the new ways of doing things. But it still comes down to talent and what you have.
And I feel like in this day and age, if you kill him and make him kind of a martyr or whatever, it's like, it seems almost repetitive. People just, that's what you do with these characters now. So why not have a happy ending? Let him walk off into the sunset.
I kill it if you have to, as Kyler.
But yeah, absolutely one of the best sound designs for a film. The editing's great, the cinematography's great, the stunts are great with the cars. Thought the acting is great. Javier Bardem kind of steals most of those scenes that he's in, but Yeah, F1 is absolutely one of the better films of the year. Best films of the year. Yeah, I agree.
Okay. I was just looking at the chat there. Thank you. I appreciate your comment in the chat there. Thank you so much for that. Anyway, so yeah, F1 the movie, that was my pick for number 6. And Scott, what was your number 6?
My number 6 is a Norwegian film that I'm sure everybody's seen.
Norwegian wood.
No, it's called Sentimental Value. It's the premise of the story is basically this well-known film director. He's kind of at the end of his career, and he wants to do a personal film, and he writes this script for his daughter, who's an actress,
right,
to play the lead role, and she refuses to play it and says, "I'm not working with my dad. I cannot do this."
Yeah.
And so right then and there, that there's the contentious relationship. And so it kind of examines that as she turns it down. He hires a famous American actress played by Elle Fanning to come in and play that role. So there's this kind of dichotomy there with them. And she's reluctant to play the role because it should have been her. But all these great best acting of the year, Stellan Skarsgård just won a Golden Globe for it. I don't know how to quite say her name, but we will know how to say her name soon because she's going to keep getting nominated for actor.
I'm not going to say her name.
I believe it's Renata Reinsve, something like that. But we'll know after awards season.
I was going to say Joe Lewis. That's my go-to.
I don't think she's going to win the awards. Things look like it's going to Jessie Buckley for Hamnet. She seems to be the steamroller there. But that should be on our honorable mention, even though we haven't seen it. Both of us, I know.
I was about to jump on that. Yeah,
both of us would really probably enjoy Hamnet.
What company?
Well, I know
Netflix because I want to jump on the Netflix.
No, I don't know what. Well, it could have been DreamWorks because Spielberg did produce it.
I'm jumping on whoever made Hamnet. I've been wanting to see that. Me and the wife want to see it. Scott wanted to see it. It can't seem to play in a theater near us.
Well,
enough that we can get it.
I think we saw that yesterday that it should get a wide release here.
Possibly the 16th, like this weekend.
If it keeps winning awards, it will.
I'll eat my words, but I still should have been able to see us. That's already been nominated for all these awards that I wanted to see. I should have been able to see it. Let's stop messing around with the theatrical window. Netflix, yeah, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you, Warner Bros. And whoever buys it.
But yeah, no, Sentimental Value, my number 6. Yeah, it's really well crafted. Cinematography is even really great. Like there's a lot of oneers, a lot of one takes, long takes. So, if foreign films are your thing, go check that one out. Right. It's about half and half. There's some English speaking because you do have Elle Fanning's character come in there. So, cool. But what's your number 5?
Number 5 alive. This. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to stick to my script in my head about this.
Yeah, go.
This at one point was my number 1 film, but when I kind of thought about it and films I really engaged with, this film confused me. I still don't know if I know what it was about. I do, but I don't. And it had some over-the-top performances, but the film I'm talking about, my number 5 for 2025, is One Battle After Another. Obviously, it looks like it's sweeping everything.
Yeah.
They brought out the broom and it's sweeping everything. So
it's nice to see for Paul Thomas Anderson because many people think that his masterpiece is There Will Be Blood, right?
Yeah, and
that was the year of No Country for Old Men.
Right. Those are like 2 intense films.
And so No Country was winning everything, and There Will Be Blood kind of got forgotten except for Daniel Day-Lewis winning Best Actor. So this is kind of nice. PTA now gets his love, and now he's the top dog. We may see some upsets, but it does certainly look like One Battle After Another is on a juggernaut here.
I've got a funny memory about that because when I think of Netflix, the DVDs, and I think that's when I upgraded the Blu-ray possibly, or maybe I was still getting the actual DVDs before Netflix was a streamer. You remember, of course.
Yeah.
You had to get the DVD or the Blu-ray if you paid extra, and you'd mail it. They'd mail you 3 off of your list or whatever, however many you decided to get one at a time. And I remember I got No Country for Old Men and said, what the hell is this film? And then There Will Be Blood. And I was like, this is an incredible masterpiece. And they were just around the same time. And I always will remember those films like that. It's so weird because it was in that same like time frame of stuff. So interesting.
Absolutely.
But yeah, fantastic film, one battle after another. And
Okay.
I'm not gonna say anything else because I don't want to have any spoilers. All righty, we're on to number 4. Oh, Scott's number 5.
My number 5. And my number 5 is the movie with the best sound design of the year. Absolutely intense film, the best war film of the year. It's called Warfare. All right. And now this is co-directed by Ray Mendoza and Alex Garland. And if Alex Garland is becoming my favorite filmmaker out there. If you're not familiar with him, he did Ex Machina,
I like that.
Annihilation, Civil War last year.
Yeah.
So, and he did 28 Years Later. He wrote it. Danny Boyle directed it, but and now he's written Bone Temple that's about to come out too. But this is more of just the account of that day of I believe I'm drawing a blank on. It's definitely the Iraq War, I believe, but
it's
or Afghanistan.
A24? Was it A24?
Yeah, it's an A24 war film. The sound design is impeccable. It puts you in the cinematography. It puts you in the actual, battle, and just doesn't let up. I mean, and it's so intense.
That for me is its strength and its weakness.
Okay, yeah.
Because it is one dimensional in that sense.
Yeah.
But what you're watching is so riveting, and you feel like you're there.
Oh yeah.
Another film that not as good, but kind of puts me in that same feel is Battle Los Angeles. I know it's not on the same level at all of a film. This is more of a realism film, but you actually feel like you're there with that troop, or what are they called? Crew, whatever you call the
your unit.
That unit, thank you. Yeah, you feel like you're in there with that unit.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's
but some great acting performances in there.
Definitely, and it would have been an honorable mention, but I could only put so many honorable mentions in. So good films.
Some great acting in there. Will Poulter is great in it. Cosmo Jarvis, Joseph Quinn, who's Johnny Storm. He's in it and is one of the wounded soldiers and is fantastic in it. But I get your point about it just being, it's kind of one note in that it's just about showing the account of the day. It doesn't really have a message.
Right.
So that's where if it put a message in there and actually had this narrative of a message instead of just telling, the story of the day, it would probably be up there with Platoon, with Full Metal Jacket, with these great Saving Private Ryan, with these great war movies that are 10 out of 10. Right. But it's not quite there because it doesn't have that profound message. But it's super realistic and it puts you in it. It's intense as hell. It's great sound design. Number 5 on the year for me, for sure. I can't not have it in there.
The next film is pretty high up in here. My number 4 for the year. It's got a stellar cast. Michael Fassbender. You're gonna have to fill in some blanks. It's
Cate Blanchett, Naomi Harris, the guy from Bridgerton that I've never learned his name.
Yeah.
Tom Burke, who's really great in it, and Marissa Abela, I think, is the girl that played Amy Winehouse. In that Amy movie. She's fantastic in this. You're right. Great cast all around.
That film, my number 4 is Black Bag.
Bag.
We're not going to go into great detail on this.
That's fine. I'm pleased that you have this on there because it's a movie that came out in March. Right?
It was early part.
And most of when we get here, the end of the year and all the Oscar nominations, all this stuff, those movies at the beginning of the year usually get forgotten, and this did. Nobody's put Black Bag on any of the. It's not up for Best Picture or acting.
Shame on the moviegoers that I know. Of course, we like what we like and we hate what we hate, or whatever. But this is a movie you shouldn't miss. It's really a thinking person's film.
Yeah.
I could watch Michael Fassbender in just about anything. He's such a great actor. With the whole group of actors that we mentioned.
Absolutely.
And
not to mention,
when
it's Steven Soderbergh.
Around the table. Is this the one where they're sitting around the table?
Yes.
Yeah. And those scenes around the table. Like if you ever ever had
It's a cat and mouse.
couples over and you're talking and then this one couple starts fighting and then but it's all subtle and it's not so subtle and you're like, oh my gosh, I wish I was sitting at this table or listening through the wall. It's one of those, it's just a crazy good film.
Absolutely.
And I highly recommend
I agree.
it could have easily been higher on my list, but there's a few films for me that just did things a little bit better, that left better, more of an impression than Black Bag did. But a solid number 4 for me. So, Scott, what was your number 4?
My number
this is
4.
film I have not seen, and had I seen it,
it could be.
It could have been.
It could be because Timothée Chalamet is quickly becoming the greatest actor of his generation.
Yes,
he's the front runner to win another Oscar. He won last year for playing Bob Dylan.
Fantastic.
And honestly, this is even a better performance, and it's for Marty Supreme. Written and directed by Josh Safdie, who is one of the Safdie brothers, did Uncut Gems. It has that same kind of chaos as Uncut Gems. You can't really guess where it's going. It's about the American dream. He's basically this young hustler that's he's great at ping pong, so that's where he thinks his inroads is to to fame and fortune. Right. But this unwavering belief in himself, and it is kind of this love letter to this younger generation, his generation right now. He's about 30 years old, I guess, but he's talking to his young generation about having the confidence but also backing it up.
I wonder if they could update it for 2026 and make it paddleball instead of ping pong.
Or pickleball.
Yeah. Paddleball, something else.
But no, he's great in it. You got Gwyneth Paltrow, who's really good in it. Like, you haven't really seen her do much, in a while. So it was great to see her back in action. But the supporting performance of that film is Odessa Zion. She is so good in this. She's kind of his mistress and having his bastard baby.
Oopsies.
But it's really well done. The cinematography, the script, everything about it. It's so chaotic, and you don't know where it's going. That either. So I love movies like that where you can't really guess where you're going to end up. So it's a fantastic movie. Check it out.
My number 3, I was like, okay, number 3, my top 3 became a lock, and especially because of my number 2, and I tease this a little later, but I'm not going to mention that now. And I think this will surprise some people that know me, but my number 3, number 3. Where are we?
Yeah,
you're
number 3.
Sorry, I'm getting off track. I'm monitoring. Everything is just crazy. My number 3 for 2025 was a spectacular film. A fantastic soundtrack. The sound design was great. The cinematography was awesome.
Yeah.
It was really 2 movies in one. Sinners.
You can't have. It's not in my top 10. It's just outside, but it's kind of hard to talk about 2025 and without mentioning Sinners.
For Michael B. Jordan to play 2 brothers and play them so differently. Yeah. You think they're identical twins or actors playing those roles or something. He does it so convincingly in every scene, and you can tell the difference in the brothers, the way that they approach life, from how they dress, how they, their wardrobe, everything is just so meticulously done so well. The director, his name escapes me.
Ryan Coogler.
We all know his impressive resume.
Yeah, and I think this is his best work since Fruitvale Station. I think Fruitvale Station is kind of it, and it's an early one and it's a low budget one. But I think that's the best.
I don't know that I've seen. I probably need to see it. But by far, I think it's my favorite of his. Yeah. Easily. Sinners. The music in it. There's that one. I remember me and my wife coming out of watching the film, and there's that one section in the film where they kind of go through. It's almost like a mini montage where they're kind of dancing, and they're going through basically African American, musical culture, the history of music
throughout the years,
throughout the decades.
It's the song sequence of "I Lied to You" is the name of the song, and that's the song that's getting nominated for everything, and rightfully so.
That one of the things we both said coming out of theater, like that should be taught. My wife might have said it before. I said that sequence right there should be taught in film school.
That's probably the best scene of the year.
Yeah, hands down. And
one of I got another one in mind,
but I'm sure you did. But Sinners is an achievement, and like it's two. I said it's two films in one, because had they not put the vampire thing on the end, like the latter part of the movie, yes, that enhances the movie, brings the horror to it.
Yeah,
but that movie could have existed as a more serious film without the whole vampire thing. So I felt like they kind of put two movies together, kind of a mashup, and it's fine. Either way, I think it would have been brilliant.
Yeah. And how about that performance from Jack O'Connell as the main?
Oh yeah, I can't remember his song though. I need to go back and watch it.
What are they trying to say about the Irish though?
The Irish and me.
But I loved Haley Steinfeld in it.
Yeah.
Although I will say she's great. I will say I was disappointed that the trailer gave away her fate. Like, and if I didn't know where the story was going with her character, I probably would have enjoyed it that much better. So it's a lesson out there to trailer houses. Don't give away the plot during your trailer.
Right. Please. Yeah. That's what I'm worried about. Avengers Doomsday. Like, we're going to see the film.
Yeah.
3 hours and 45 minutes runtime.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah. Without 30 minutes of previews.
Who directed it? Scorsese? Good Lord.
Yeah, I don't believe he said he had his editor one. No, she didn't. She didn't do anything. He wouldn't
imagine how much if she cuts his movies down to 3.5 hours. Imagine how much film she actually.
Here you are. You need to go. Watch however you stream Sinners.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic film, and it was one of those 4 films that's pretty much it here towards the top that Scott reminded me of. Thankfully, that I was ranting about the whole year. So fantastic achievement. So we've seen Sinners as my number 3 top film of the year. Scott, what is your number 3 film of the year?
So you're gonna say I'm biased
because you have a personal connection to the next film.
I will explain that I have a rating system and it passes all the criteria despite the fact that I worked on the film. And that film is Thunderbolts. So, or the New Avengers. I absolutely loved everything about this movie. I mean, it was so different than what Marvel's done in the past. It was a story essentially about depression and coming out the other side and learning that you're not alone. And Marvel doesn't typically do this. They're starting to venture into this. They did in WandaVision, and there's some self-discovery with Loki and whatnot, but so they started to do it on the TV shows, but they haven't really delved into it in the movies per se, really getting to this emotional heart of things, yes, with I love you 5,000 or whatever. Sorry if I'm
3,000.
Sorry, 3,000. Oh God, don't shoot me. But so yes, there's that, but that's life and death is there everywhere. We haven't really talked about depression, and the themes were incredible. The action was incredible. The performances are funny and incredible. Like, tell me David Harbour and Wyatt Russell are not hilarious in this movie.
They are.
And like everybody's on top of their game, man. Like obviously Florence Pugh and Lewis Pullman as Bob. So we introduced Sentry, which is going to be cool. And people said we didn't get enough of him, but that's okay because this is the origin. Like
last time I felt that Marvel in any format got into a character's mind was Legion, which I don't know if you ever watched that when it was on TV.
Mm-mm.
David Haller. He had all these personalities in his head. He is the son of Charles Xavier, so and it had the Shadow King, which is like an ethereal kind of demon spirit character, but he had some. I think Aubrey Plaza might have been in it too. I'm not sure, but it's a shot out one. But this is very much like that, not being so much shot out, but when you see like Bob, his internal dialogue, that whole, we just talked about Sinners having one of the best sequences ever, possibly even better is when they're in Bob's mind, and you're seeing, like, I was sitting that film the first time I watched it, I think with my wife, I guess, and sure, and I think I turned to her and said, "This is what anxiety feels like. This is what sometimes feels like inside of my brain when watching Thunderbolts." And for a Marvel superhero film, it didn't check all the boxes. I wanted new powers and more powers, and I wanted a longer.
That's not what this film
and
is.
the void, and that's not what this film is.
Well,
but
I was gonna say, like, as far as visual effects go, like, obviously the blip was great, right? So like that was a cool visual effects moment, but the effect of the void was really great and haunting when each shadow happens, you know.
Yeah, they're just like the little girl. You're like, oh, they take the little girl and poof. But then it's so important, like Elena, I'm always gonna say her name wrong, Black Widow, when she just walks, she's kind of at the beginning of the film, she's kind of given up, you know, and she's had that part with Yuri. Her father gets on my nerves, but I did like because he's always trying to be comical.
Well, and you're not a Stranger Things guy, evidently.
I'm not a Stranger Things guy. Sorry. I know people who are, but
love Hopper.
Not me. But yeah, he just can be annoying to me a little bit at times. But I get why he's there and what his character is. But it was really touching when they're like, "We're not a family. We've never been a family," and you know, they get into some deep emotional wreckage, and she starts to film out, you know, basically skydiving. You think she's jumping, like killing herself, and she's not. She's on a mission, and she's just walking through it, and like, boom, boom, you're dead, you know, doing whatever she has to do. And Julia Louis-Dreyfus is so deliciously evil.
She's so good.
She's so good, and the way that she spins things in the film. It's got a lot of great things going on in the film, but there's internal struggles with Elena and her dad Yuri, and then of course Bob, what he's going through, and then when they're fighting the void in him, or he's fighting the void in him, and there's so many different levels that this film works on. It's much more intelligent film than, you know, some James Gunn induced Guardians of the Galaxy that has to have a laugh here or there, which that's not a dig on Guardians. Those are great films, some of the best of Marvel. But, you know, Marvel took itself seriously. It kind of took on depression. And I thought about it, I said, more than any film out this year, that one seems to mirror what I was seeing a lot of on social media. There's a lot of people with undiagnosed, you know, mental issues, and we see it in the news, and I'm not going to go down the dark road there. But yeah, it feels like in the superhero element, it's a film that kind of like, it's different, but I think of the film with Mel Gibson, Signs, how that film is alien invasion on the surface. Some people said it's a minister that's in the spiritual crisis, and the aliens are actually demons. So that's an interesting way to look at it. And how M. Night Shyamalan, that's his masterpiece for me. But I kind of look at those struggles as kind of what Thunderbolts is doing there brilliantly. And it pains me, and it'll probably always pain me that it's not in my top 10, but it's a 10.5 at the very least. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that, which is a lot.
But
sorry to steal your thunder.
No, that's quite all right, because it's it's worth talking about.
Steal your thunder.
Very punny.
Very punny.
So what's your number 2?
Oh, yeah, I've forgotten. This is the one that blew a hole in my entire films, because Scott's like, I'm not going to influence you, but he's like, you've left that one film that you've been talking about, that you're ranting and raving about, how you loved it. You talk about how you love the cinematography, how you love, you know, the characters. And I think my wife said it was, well, let me tell you what it is. It's Frankenstein. My number 2 film of 2025 is is this Benicio? I always get the Del Toro's wrong.
Guillermo.
Oh, they changed it. Okay, it's Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, or as we talked about earlier, The Shape of Water, which is his free Frankenstein. But this film, I got to watch it on my big screen TV in the new house with the surround sound, and I was blown away immediately by the cinematography of it. My wife said that she thought she really loved. I don't remember the actor. This is where our roads diverge. You disagree.
Jacob Elordi playing the monster.
Frankenstein's monster. Because he's about to like go after everybody. He's getting his revenge, and he's like, "Let me tell you my story."
Let me tell you a story.
But I thought the makeup and the prosthetics, whatever you want to call it, they did.
Oh yeah.
Costume design,
production design, costume, hair and makeup, cinematography, all that. It's gorgeous. It looks gorgeous
for me too. Yeah. So I totally love Frankenstein, and I really would have had to redo the whole video. It's like we forgot one of my favorite films of the year, but Frankenstein ticked me off because I couldn't. Once again, Netflix made it impossible for me to go see it. And the one time I had to go to Beaufort and I couldn't get there. I couldn't work out my schedule to get up there to see it. And we have a lot of we have decent theaters here, but we have like some good theaters that weren't showing it.
Yeah.
High quality, top of the line theaters that weren't showing Frankenstein. It was only out at for like a week or two.
Yeah.
And that really angers me because I want the cinematic experience. Yes, I can replicate it a little bit in my house, but still not the same.
Well, he write a angry letter to Ted Sarandos.
I am. I'm getting my old typewriter. I'm going to type it now.
Basically, with these Oscar hopefuls, they put them in 10 theaters that nobody goes to just so they can qualify for the Oscars.
I get that, but dang it. Afterwards, it needs to be a wide release. I still need to see Frankenstein on the big.
Watch it and subscribe.
Watch it and I'll go, oh yeah.
But I don't know how many people actually subscribe to Netflix to watch Frankenstein.
Do a day and date. I don't care release. I don't know what you got to do, but I need to see it on the big screen. So that was my number 2, and that's my little soapbox. So keep the theater experience going. And you people out there, you need to just miss that mortgage payment, not pay that gas and electric bill, and go to the theater and watch the films, and keep the theater experience alive. We need it in 2026, and it's good escapism. Yeah. All righty, so we're down to the big boys, and this one we didn't talk in a couple of films like
there's a reason why we didn't go into detail about Black Bag because it's my number 2.
This is where you get to expound and I just get to say
no, I think Black Bag is damn near perfect. It's a super taut thriller. We're talking about directors that don't know how to edit themselves and have 3-hour-long movies.
Exactly.
This is Steven Soderbergh, and he hasn't really been at the top of his game for 20 years, people would say, because in 2020 or what was it, 2000, he did Traffic and Aaron Brockovich in the same year.
Right.
And he's kind of he's gone to his roots and done more independent films lately. And this is very small budget, but he's got an amazing cast with Fassbender, Blanchett, everybody that we mentioned earlier. But it's such a perfect spy thriller. It's about the sacrifices you make when you have a government job, when you have a secretive job. So it's like, how do you balance a marriage and a CIA job? And that's kind of the interesting thing there with it. And that's kind of at the heart of it. And it's about deception and lies, who's lying to who, and can it be possible to have a non-deceptive marriage when you're being deceitful in your job?
Right.
So there's that interesting, dynamic there with all the characters, not just the two married. It's like all these couples and their dynamic. So it's really smart, really well done. Cinematography is great. It's simple. Like I don't know if there's a better, like as far as tight story, so it just everything has a purpose and it's short and sweet and really does the deed. Like, I don't know about you, but I did not guess who it was. Like, they kept you guessing who the culprit was, who the mole was.
I didn't guess.
Yeah, exactly. So fantastic film, and I mean, Kate Blanchett's one of the greatest. It is a shame that this is not getting remembered at the awards circuit right now. And I'm a little surprised it remained number 2 because this came out in March. So it's been at the top of my letterbox list all year long, or at least, for 9 months. And there's only one film that knocked it off, and we'll see that in just a second. So
I couldn't have said it better.
Yeah.
All right, so we're down to the big ones here.
Numero unos.
And for that, you have to it's behind a paywall. No. If you're here, we appreciate you being here. Please like, share, subscribe, thumbs up the video, share to love. This will also be, once I get it edited, when I'm not working, we'll also have this in audio podcast form. Should we give a preview where we may be doing an audio only podcast of
the Golden Globes and Critics' Choice recap? We'll do a brief recap on those. Yeah, absolutely.
So look for that as well. But anyway, and that's wherever you find listen to your podcast at. And if you follow us on Geek Home World on Facebook or Twitter, wherever on the socials, Instagram, you'll see links for it. So, or just follow us here on YouTube and all that good fun stuff. So anyway, all that's out the way. This is my number 1 film of the year that kind of like Wicked was last year. I came out of the theater. I didn't even get out of the theater without singing and humming along. And for you and me, we had similar experiences with this film. It tends to aim for, I mean, anybody can enjoy this film, even if you don't know who the film is about, but it tends to scale to an older audience. And you'll know why in a second when I tell you what the film is. But I'm surprised that this film, not surprised it made my top 10, but I'm surprised that it's my number 1. I think it would surprise a lot of people, but anybody near me knows, especially my wife knows, I wouldn't shut up singing these songs. And I went down a rabbit hole of watching interviews and the documentary that this film is based on. So without any further ado, my number 1 film, I'm saying 1995, wrong century or whatever, for 2025 is Song Sung Blue, brilliantly played by Hugh Jackman. And he is more than Wolverine. He's a good actor. He's a great song and dance man. Yeah. And what's her name?
Kate Hudson.
Thank you. That's why I have you here, because I can't read. I'm not going to write notes down. Everybody knows that. Kate Hudson. And she's been nominated
for this. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No, she's picked up a nomination at each big awards show. So she's up. She was up for Critics' Choice, Golden Globe. She's now up for the actor, which is the SAG award, which they've changed it to the actor, whatever. So, and she'll more than likely be up for an Oscar. We'll see though.
I've known of Neil Diamond songs and this and that, but and Neil Diamond saw it, and there was an interview, and he said he saw it, and he saw the movie, and he cried when Hugh Jackman came over to his house and got to watch it with him and his wife or whatever, and it was just, if you watch the documentary, I saw it on YouTube, and I forgot where I saw it on YouTube, but the one that it's based off of, there are a lot of shots, like shot for shot, that are in this film, but it's acted so brilliantly by both of the lead actors. And who is this?
Shout out to Jim Belushi. When was the last time you saw Jim Belushi in something?
That's crazy. I forgot. Yeah,
it was him and Fisher Stevens were the managers, and it's like it was kind of a blast from the past for both of those guys.
And good for them to get some screen time. But Song Sung Blue, I've been down a rabbit hole, and I'm listening to Neil Diamond songs that I knew, and one of the ones that I probably knew, but Play Me, that's a beautiful song, and I kind of rediscovered that because of this film. And that's what a good film does. It makes you, research things, and it makes you go beyond the film and find different things. I just really enjoyed this film, and there was nothing but gray hair in front of me, and one young lady who must have brought all the gray-haired folks to
She
the
was
cinema.
she was driving the bus.
I suppose. And there were two older ladies on the front row. They were not the very front row by the screen, but right where you have the little, what's that alleyway? What do you call it? Well, and anywhere they were sitting in that front row right there. And these two ladies were just hacking on. The older guy goes, "Shut up," which is funny. And then there was a couple
Stop
sitting
enjoying
here,
yourself.
and the young lady went and got some drinks and popcorn and was sitting there like a seat in front of me. And the lady a little ways up, she was getting down and bebopping. And that got me into the film. And before you know it, I'm kind of tapping my toes and singing along. And I'm like, you know what? I'm enjoying this film. And that's, you can't listen to what YouTubers say. We all have opinions, and that's all they are. You can't listen to all these professional reviewers. You know what you like and what you dislike. And what our top 10s aren't your top 10s. And that's fine. It's all subjective. So, but I had more fun in this film than any film in the year. And Song Sung Blue was my number 2. and I came up with a pun I was like, it's Song Sung 2. But it deserved it more than Frankenstein. In my opinion, it deserved to be my number 1 film. And so Song Sung Blue came in and wrecked my whole top 10 and pushed somebody out of the top 10. And well, no, it didn't, because it was always in, but it caused chaos in here, but it was fun. And it's a great film. I wish it could get more box office and more accolades. I can't say enough about it. My number 1 song on the song. A lot of number 1 songs in there. My number 1 film of 2025, Song Sung Blue. Fantastic. Nice. Now we get to drum roll. Anyway, Scott, your number 1 film that we touched on a little earlier, but we didn't really talk about.
Yeah, and
it was my number 5.
Yeah, it's not often that my number 1 film is actually what seems to be the consensus on the best film of the year. It's kind of weird that this is happening, but yeah, my number 1 is One Battle After Another, Paul Thomas Anderson's masterpiece. With my rating system, it's the only 10 out of 10 I gave this year. Are you
going to tell us what your rating system is, or is that a trade secret?
No, it's not a trade secret. I perfected it this year because I wanted to have a way to actually quantify it, because I'm a math guy, so I wanted a way to quantify it. So I have 10 categories, and there's
the best second accountant I know.
Hey. But yeah, it's basically, I have a high emphasis on script. But I basically try to honor every craft that you see on screen. Sure. So basically I've got a category for, 1 is directing and camera. So cinematography and directing are 1. We've got acting, casting, and stunts are together in another one.
That's my favorite one I'm listening to.
Okay. And then we've got there is a sound design, specifically 1 point for sound design. Yep. Then I also have a music point, so that's score, songs, and then
original songs versus adapted.
Honestly, no, it's all lumped together. So like, say you have a great soundtrack, and you're pulling old songs. Sure, I love that. So, and then we've got 1 for production design and props. I threw props in there with production design. Okay. The very little, nobody ever talks about props and give award for props.
What about crafty?
They
keep the film
on screen.
On screen. Okay.
So we're like, I don't know how these people's crafty was. I'm sure it was great. All right. And then we have costume and hair and makeup is 1. Okay. And we've got visual effects and editing is another category. Okay.
Something that we need to teach Scorsese.
Yes, exactly. Because that'll hurt your score for me. Like, if you don't make your movie under 3 hours, I'm probably going to get you.
We're not looking.
But here's where I put a heavy emphasis on the script. So if your script is weak, you're going to fall down my rankings. It's why Avatar is not very high. It's why Frankenstein's not very high for me. So we've got category is script, story, space, pacing, essentially the script. Okay.
Would you like an M&M?
And no, thank you. While I'm explaining,
I'm in the theater.
You're gonna interrupt me with a food offer, but so it's basically got 3 categories for script. One's script, story, pacing. Then these are the 2 big ones for me. There's a full point for originality. Okay, if I don't feel like it's original, it's going to take a hit in my rankings. Right. Also, it needs to have a message. That's another point. If it doesn't have a message or a clear, concise theme or message, it's not typically going to resonate with me. So that's my grading system. Okay, and now One Battle After Another had all that. Like I couldn't ding it on any of that stuff. The acting's incredible. DiCaprio, great as usual. But Sean Penn, one of the most memorable performances of the year. You definitely come out of that theater hating him. And it's so the character's name is so on the nose. It's General Lockjaw. But it's kind of supposed to be. It's a satire. At the heart, One Battle After Another is a satire. It is a comedy. It's essentially kind of making fun of politics in America. Whether you be far left, whether you be far right, whether you be in between. Leo is in between. He's even though he does blow some shit up.
Viva la resistance.
He's not doing it for the cause. He's doing it because he's in love with Perfidia's Perfidia. And so for whatever reason, I mean, she's
not getting Mother of the Year award from me.
No, she didn't care about her family at all, and I think that's the point. Like, she's this anarchist that does not care about her family. All she cares about is the cause.
She is down for the cause.
He's the family man. So basically, Leo represents most of America. People in the middle, right? Yeah. That's what Leo represents in this film. He's in the middle.
It's the most the first trailer did not represent the film well at all.
It didn't let you know that this is at the heart of it was
the second trailer.
Getting your
blew my mind.
Kidnap.
I'm like, you could have skipped the first trailer.
Now you know what it's about. He's trying to get his daughter back, right? So that's essentially at the heart of the film. But it is this satire about the socio-political not economics, but the social and political themes of America now. Right. And so that's why people are tapping into it. It's timely. Yes, people really love seeing the right wing people, get so it. And you're right when you say Sean Penn's a little over the top, but I think it's on purpose. It's to be satirical. It is,
and he's over the top, just like Nicholas Hoult was over the top with Lex Luthor.
Yeah,
but it's more serious.
So, but the acting up and down, Sensei, freaking Benicio del Toro is great as usual, and all that Sensei stuff is fantastic. His character's always calm, cool, collected, no matter what's going on around him. So he's fantastic in it. The ladies are fantastic. Teyana Taylor just won the Golden Globe. She plays Perfidia, the woman that hates her children, but loves the cause. I thought Regina Hall was great in it.
Yeah, of course.
She's not really getting much recognition, unfortunately, but she's great in it. And then I love the things of it. The cinematography is great. Okay, so we talked about Sinners in that one scene, with the musical scene, and the camera comes in as being probably one of the best scenes of the year. I also think one of the best scenes of the year is at the end of One Battle After Another and the chase scene. Going up and down the undulating road is so well done. I've never seen anything like that. And it's all in focus, and and you get sick off of it. And it's just so well done. Everything comes together. It's a great story. Nothing really checked all the boxes for me like One Battle After Another did. So, and it's kind of cool to see it getting all the love. Like, I actually watch award shows and my favorite movies winning awards, and that probably hasn't happened since No Country for Old Men. So, which we mentioned earlier. So no, I love the film. I love seeing Paul Thomas Anderson finally getting his flowers. Although I think he did win before for a screenplay, so he probably has an Oscar. But now he's going to get the big one. He's going to get director and picture, or what it looks like. You never know. There could be an upset.
So that is our best films of 2020.
That's our best. What are your best?
Yeah, what are your best out there? Let us know in the comments. Now we got to get to the actual trash heap of the year.
We'll go through the worst.
And we're gonna go quickly through our combined.
There were some dumpster fires.
Top 5 worst dumpster fire films of 2025, and we'll begin with one that thought it was the Terminator, but it wasn't. It's Megan 2.0. I enjoyed the first one.
I did too, and that's the thing. I think that's why this ends up on this list, because you basically with this one have killed a promising franchise. The first one is satirical,
right,
and really kind of pokes fun at the genre, and this one is just dumb, and it tries to be something completely different. Like you said, it wants to be Terminator.
Right.
And they forgot about the satire, and it just becomes this dumb film of it just doesn't work. And it'll be interesting to see if there is a 3.0. Like, I don't know if they should make a third one now. I mean, it's like, how do you kill a franchise?
They really, like you said, did kill the momentum of the Megan franchise.
So
they just went the wrong way with it, and it just didn't work. Even fans of it, I know some people that liked it, but yeah, they messed the bed on that one. Number 4 for the year, kind of our combined top 5 worst films is I Know What You Did Last Summer. I didn't bother to see it.
It's bad.
You did. It's
bad. I didn't have high hopes for it, but it's essentially it is kind of a cash grab. They want to reboot another franchise, but the main thing for me is, and I'm sorry, I'm going to give a spoiler. Sorry, people. We're spoiler.
Should have already watched it.
Yeah. So I don't know if you're familiar with the original films, but
it's been a while.
So the Freddie Prinze character, he's pretty, heroic and selfless, and he's kind of at the heart of, making sure everybody survives, and he's a good person, right?
Right.
This reboot makes him one of the killers. Sorry for people out there that
is this still a spoiler, like Scream 7's coming out? I don't even know.
I think Scream 7 will be good. I like that franchise a lot better. But it was dumb. They rehashed the same old lines, and when Jennifer Love Hewitt, what the whole line of where she's standing in the road and she's like, "Come out," I don't know. It's just cheesy and bad, and they made it worse. And what they did with Freddie Prinze Jr. character, just didn't make sense for the character. Right. I think it was just done for shock value, and it was, but it didn't make sense. So,
worst number 3 was. It's funny you were mentioning on your number 4. I Know What You Did Last Summer. You said High Hopes, and all I could think of in the moment was High Hopes. High Hopes. It's off to the trash we go. So that is number 3. Snow White.
And I think Snow White.
Yes.
Well, I think Snow White's here more so for the PR mishaps than the film itself, because there are some good. It's Disney, so they're going to spend money and make it look good, right? So there's decent production design. But the CGI is not.
Pulled me out of the
but the production design's great, and they spent money to make it look good. But there's a lot of guff they got for the costumes look cheap, and the CGI looked cheap.
Would be good in that character. She was flat.
She's terrible. She can't sing, and it just goes to show you that you just need her to be Wonder Woman. She has no range, and it's just like she's really bad, and you could tell she phoned it in. yeah, and then all the PR stuff, like they were all outspoken about Israel and everything, and all this other things. But even before they shot it, I think Zegler had stuck her foot in her mouth before about stuff, so people weren't happy about her being Snow White.
Snow White was, and it was just creepy that a guy would kiss her, and she has to depend on a guy to kiss her.
Well, I will say that they changed, but they adapted that to make that better. Right. She gives him permission to kiss her if she's sleeping.
I get where she's coming from, but still,
they did change that. People might have been upset about that being woke, but what do you want to do? It's like people complain about kissing a woman in her sleep, and it's unwanted. I get that. But in the film, they changed it. They actually wrote it into the script.
And the thing is,
that he gives permission, or she gives permission.
Right. And obviously, even though we're mentioning all that, because it just has to be mentioned along, it was part of the chatter around this film. But for you and I, that wouldn't have been a deciding factor for us not to go or whatever. We wouldn't have got swept up in that. But it just was not a good film. It was not well executed.
And I will say this too, it's kind of sad that it's not well executed when, if I'm not mistaken, Snow White was the first full-length,
I think so.
Snow White was the first full-length feature film from Walt Disney back in the day. So you want that live-action remake to...
They needed to paint more by the numbers. And, they could update things, and they did, but it just didn't work for me. The film did not work for me.
Talk about
films that didn't work. This was a big letdown, and those maybe we're not the audience for it, but this film would have worked better if they would have stuck with the story of the brother. The next film, our number 2 worst film of the year, Ella McKay. If they would have stuck with the story of the brother and made that the center part of the film instead of Ella and all the people happening around her, it would have been a more interesting film to me.
Felt tacked on, like, why are we going over and doing this? It was a mess. Nothing came together. It was very disappointing in the fact that it was written and directed by James L. Brooks, who is a legend in the industry. Did Terms of Endearment, Broadcast News, As Good as It Gets. He was a producer for The Simpsons. But yeah, like for me, it's like he's a producer of The Simpsons. He's godlike.
Some people said stay in your lane.
So I kind of had high hopes for this. I like the lead actress. Jamie Lee Curtis is good. Woody Harrelson is good. Kamal Nanjiani's in it. But it just, nothing about it worked. And it was just so flat. Nobody went to go see it. And rightfully so. And it's easily one of the worst in the year. Definitely a letdown. What a mess.
Yeah. It was pretty bad. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. And the worst film of 2025. And I don't even know this film.
I had to be insistent because this to me was pure garbage, and it's not the number 1 worst film of the year is Hurry Up Tomorrow. Yeah. Okay, this was The Weeknd. The performer, the singer songwriter. He's trying, but everything he does in film and TV is garbage. He was in The Idol with Lily Rose Depp on HBO, got terrible reviews. Now he's done this. This is just a vanity project. Right. He wanted to make a movie that he thought was artistic, that he was killing himself. He wanted to kill The Weeknd so he could become Asif, whatever his name is. I don't even know Abel. No, Abel is his name in real life. So, or his day-to-day person, but he wanted to kill The Weeknd, and I think this was his attempt to kill The Weeknd so he could become Abel. So in the film, he actually kind of does that. It's self-destructive, but it's very self-indulgent, is what it really is. And he did not make this movie for an audience. He made it for himself, and that's the worst kind of film you can make. And it's a mess. And I can't believe Jenna Ortega and Barry Keoghan are both in this film, and God bless them. I hope they got paid well, because it's garbage and nobody should ever watch it. So to me, that's the worst. There's some other worst ones, but these were the worst that I saw this year, and I don't ever walk out of a movie, but I really did want to walk out of Hurry Up Tomorrow. But I stuck through to the bitter end, and it was kind of funny. I didn't realize it was like he was playing himself until like 45 minutes into it. I thought he was playing a version of himself, but then like Jenna Ortega pulls out the Weeknd album like in the movie, and I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell?
Yeah,
it's like he's actually playing himself, and it was just
weird.
muddled, confused, and just when you think you're so like, it's just an inflated ego, you really see it on screen. So, but yeah, don't see Hurry Up Tomorrow. Don't waste your time.
So what are our final thoughts on to 2026?
This year, there's some things coming out this year that we should be excited about.
I mean, whether you like it or not, it's coming. It's absolutely the last chance for Marvel to hit a home run. Hopefully it's a grand slam going into Secret Wars next year. But if this fails a year from now, we're going to be talking about the end of the MCU, and I don't think it's going to fail, but I've heard differing opinions on things, and so far I'm psyched up for it. I'm going to watch it.
I think if 2025 is any indication for Marvel, they are going in the right direction.
They are.
Right? Like even Captain America Brave New World has positives to it, right?
It was turning.
But then you have Thunderbolts and you have Fantastic Four, well received by critics, didn't necessarily kill it at the box office like you'd want it to, but still a successful year for Marvel, I would say, and they're going in the right direction. They're becoming more focused. They've stopped shooting all these shows at once. So I think that's, it's results are now, it's begetting results. Well, essentially,
the thing is, they're almost into instant filmmaking because they do all the reshoots. It's like they keep changing films and adding, and most times it helps. And it just you and I both know that a lot of films that were in the pipeline, and even post COVID, it takes year and a half, 2 years to get a film usually from start, especially a high budget film, to actually get it out in theaters. So them returning the ship, you still got some residual ones, shows and things that are falling off that will drop, like Ironheart dropped. That was terrible. I mean, there's some good things about it, but I didn't like it. But like a lot of the Disney Plus shows, it just didn't strike me the right way. There were some good ones I liked, and like Loki and some other ones, but I think Disney's learned their lesson. They're going back to their core audience. They're going to give the fans what they want, and in the end, your fans are your consumers. They're your customers, and you're there to give them what they want, or they will go somewhere else. And I'm worried. Obviously, the superhero fatigue is a thing, because it was like any genre. Like Westerns were around for 20 at least 20 years. Like they were everything that was coming out in Hollywood. Hollywood goes through phases. People go through phases.
Absolutely.
And you don't see that many Westerns now. If you see one, it's an odd thing.
I hope that, and I know it's probably not going to happen, but I do hope that we see more and more original stuff, and the stuff but it seems like when you go to the theater, every trailer is for some sort of remake or sequel or just something and then here I am thinking about what am I looking forward to most in 2026? Well, it's the Odyssey. So it's like, but then again, the Odyssey hasn't been done specifically a lot on film. That story of the man trying to get back to his, it has been done. But I'm excited that, of course, it's Christopher Nolan's, Matt Damon. So,
and so we got to see when Avatar: Fire and Ash. I got to see part of the Trojan horse scene. They just showed it. They just started playing. I was like, okay, great, this is cool, and it seemed pretty cool. I was engaged in it, so I'm excited for it. Doomsday, Odyssey. I know there's a bunch of others, but right now I can't really think of anything.
No, it's mostly sequels that they've announced, at least. So I think all the original stuff just kind of comes out as a surprise.
So I want to thank Scott Schreiber. I'll get your name in big letters on the screen.
Oh my goodness!
For joining me. You're my Oscar guru guy. we're going to be coming back at you with an audio version of, in podcast form, audio podcast form of the Golden Globes, our follow up on that, and Critics' Choice. And we're probably going to record that today. Hopefully, we get it out today. If not, just look for it wherever you subscribe to for your podcasts and all that.
All right.
And I'll be promoting it on my social media as well. I want to thank you, Scott, for being here.
Of course.
Let's see, as my special guest, as always.
Of
And
course.
well, we just had our final thoughts. So thank you, everybody in the chat who watched this live. Thank you for your comments and
Go to the movies.
Go to the movies. And this will exist if all my recordings went well. This will exist in an audio format on my podcast feed for Geek Homeworld. Please like, share, subscribe to the channel. That's Geek Homeworld, youtube.com/@Geek Homeworld. And we always get some new great comment, a lot of gaming coming up in the future. We're always talking about film, TV, and tech here and everything else. Thank you so much. And we're going to say goodbye for now. And thank you. And here's to a great 2026 at the theaters. And I got to click the button. Gotta find my mouse. All right. Let's see where we at. Okay. And we're getting there. Goodbye, everyone. End stream.